Welcome back, everyone, to Freaky Tales Friday, episode 44. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone on the live chat, everyone who's not on the live chat, everybody who subscribed, liked, commented, shared. And I want to remind you guys to please smash that like button. My boy Alex is always posting it up, so smash that like button. Other than that, and if you don't like it, hit dislike. It doesn't matter. You guys are still watching. I want to thank everybody who has been following us on Instagram, Freaky Tales Podcast on Instagram. Follow us there for whenever we make any changes or future guests or whatever the case may be. If you have a question, you could DM us there, or you could DM us, email us at freakytalespodcast@gmail.com. freakytalespodcast@gmail.com. Sometimes I still will take stories as well, but I prefer you guys to call in and share your stories. Other than that, we are going to be talking for a little bit, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did last week and open it up for phone calls, because there were many phone calls that were missed, and many of you DM'd me directly on my regular page and told me you were trying to call in and you could not get through. So now we're going to give you guys another opportunity to get through and to share your story, or if you have a question, okay? Many of you say, you know what? I like it the way it used to be in the very beginning. It was all paranormal. Then many of you guys said, switch it up. We switched it up and changed topics. We accepted phone calls. Now you guys are saying, let's take it back to the paranormal. Look, we both know that we're not going to make everybody happy, but we're going to keep the show going. So if you have any suggestions, you know what? Since we're live, you can call in and share your suggestion. I'm open, for constructive criticism. But without further ado, once again, thank you. And I'd like to welcome my guest once again, Marvelous Inc. Marvelous, how are you today?
I'm good, Tony. Thank you for having me. Appreciate all you guys tuning in as well.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thankful that you're here. I have a question because everybody's been asking me, and I have not seen it yet. But the movie Halloween, Michael Myers, have you seen it?
No, I actually, I'm not going to see it, bro. Everybody that I asked about it, they all said that it's like bad reviews, real bad reviews.
That's what I heard too. And me being a huge Michael Myers fan, I looked into it, that there was a petition. Whether this holds any water or not, I don't know. But there was a petition to reshoot the movie, let somebody else do it.
Damn.
Yeah, I saved it, and I didn't post it on the Freaky Tales podcast page yet, but I will. And there's people saying that it's like the worst one yet. Is that true? I don't know, but me being a fan, I'm going to go ahead and still watch it and give my input. Alex, you know what you can do on the live chat? Just put Halloween Ends. Was it good, or was it, yes or no, was it good or was it bad or whatnot? And we'll give that, if you will, that score at the very end, the results at the very end of the show. Okay? Halloween Ends, yes.
And then do you think Jamie Lee Curtis is like too old to be like
no
that part?
No, I liked her in the last couple of movies.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Sooner or later it's gotta end.
Yeah, bro.
It's gotta end. But there were hints, people were telling me that he didn't really die, he's coming back.
Yeah.
So and then that's what you don't want to hear, because the movie's called Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Maybe on the after that, after we watch it, we'll break it down and I'll give my review on it. I just think that, I'm a big fan of Halloween still. But I just want a good movie. I think we deserve it, especially since we waited this long. I saw that movie when in the 70s. I was probably like 10 or 11 years old.
The 70s? Damn.
Yeah, the
I'm
first
fucking
movie.
around with you, bro.
Yeah, I was born in 68, so I believe that came out in
playing, bro.
78. So that I was about 10, 11 years old.
Hey, if you were to see Michael Myers, like if this was like some real shit, if you were to see Michael Myers and you were like, you wanted to see him get down with another villain, like who would you want to see that get down with?
Probably Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger? That'd be trip.
Yeah, probably Freddy Krueger. I don't really care about Jason. He's too stiff. He doesn't really move.
Yeah.
He just has a shank. That's it.
Yeah.
But at least with Freddy, at least you'll have his comical side. He is funny. He does say jokes,
Yeah.
So, I think he'll be more of a challenge for Michael. But Michael's going to have to move and bob and weave because he's too stiff too.
Yeah.
So now I kind of wanted to open it up because eventually we will get to our phone calls. Somebody DM'd me something today and they said, Tony, you guys touched on something last week that was very, very intriguing. You guys had mentioned the end times, and you guys had mentioned something about the Antichrist. Okay. Can you guys elaborate a little bit more on that? Because I just found that very intriguing. And where did you get your information from? And I believe that's a very good question because I do believe people, if we're going to share something, I would like people to question where we get our info from. I only get my info from one source when it pertains to the Antichrist or the end times.
Scripture.
Yeah. It's the Bible, scripture, okay? Now, many of you guys think, oh, that's a religious book. Why are you trying to bring religion into it? It's not. Religion is man-made.
Right.
I have nothing to do with religion. I look at it as a historical book. There's also another book. He is a Jewish historian by the name of Flavius Josephus. He lived around the 1st century, around the time of Christ. He also wrote about Jesus. He also wrote about the things that were going on during that time. And he's a historian. So I would say even look into his writings. Now, Marvelous, before I allow you to elaborate, let's just jump into it. There's 3 monotheistic religions in this world. Monotheistic means that they believe that there's one God. That is Christianity, that is Judaism, and that is Islam. They all believe in one God, okay? All 3 of them have another thing in common. They all believe, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity believe that we're living in the last days, okay? I believe that as well. Would you believe that we're living in the last days?
Fact.
Okay. Now, many of them have their own prophecies. The Judaizers or the people that in Judaism, they have several books other than the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament, though they don't call it old. But within the Tanakh, they also have the first 5 books of the Bible, which are Torah, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, which I believe were written by Moses, okay? They get their prophecies from, there's 2 books that they study, and they're called the Talmud. The Talmud. They have the Babylonian Talmud and the Jerusalem Talmud. And if you guys want to look them up, it's Talmud, Talmud. Look it up, and that's what it's pretty much for me. When I looked into it, it's like a commentary of the Old Testament. That's what they are, at least for me. Okay, I'm not going to get into why they read that, but look it up. Of course, the Muslims, they have the Quran. Okay, and by the way, many Muslims from the Middle East believe that unless you read the Quran in Arabic, you don't have the right Quran, or you're not reading it. You're not fully getting the full translation. Okay. And for Christians, there's the Bible.
Right.
And all 3 of these books, they have end times. Okay. I want to touch on Matthew 24. So if you guys want to write this down, Matthew 24, Luke 21, and Mark 13. And that's what they call the Olivet Discourse. When they exit the temple, the disciples turn and tell to Jesus, look at this temple. Isn't it beautiful? And he said, not one stone will be left upon another. Mm-hmm. Well, that temple was destroyed in 70 AD by General Roman Titus, okay? Destroyed that temple. If you were to go to Jerusalem today, those stones are still there, okay? That happened 37 years later after Jesus prophesied that that temple would be destroyed. So they began to ask him, what is it going to be like right before his return? Mm-hmm. And in Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, he says, be careful that you are not deceived. Now, in that entire chapter, he mentions deception 3 times. He only mentions famines, pestilence, wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, nation will rise against nation. By the way, that word in the Greek means nationality will rise against nationality in the last days. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then he goes on and he mentions, but do not be deceived 3 times in that same chapter. Mm-hmm. So deception will play a role in these last days. So I'm hoping that this person who asked this question is watching, because it's a lot to remember. It's a lot to spit out. Now, in the last days, there will arise a man that many people would call the Antichrist, or many people would call him the anti-Messiah. This person, according to the scriptures, will not be demonically possessed. He will be Satan possessed, Satan himself. There's only 2 people in the entire Bible that have been Satan possessed. Not demonically possessed, and I want to make that very clear, but Satan possessed. One of them was Judas, when he betrays Jesus at the Last Supper. We call it the Last Supper, but they were celebrating Passover. He looks at Judas and he tells him, that what you do, go do quickly. He gets up, and before he leaves, the next scripture says, and Satan entered into Judas. Then you look at the book of Revelation, and it talks about Satan possessing this man who will arise one day and to rule the world. Bring the world into one world economy, cashless society, to worship his image and to take his mark, okay? Now, many people say that that mark eventually will be the RFID chip. I don't know if it is, but we know that the technology for that is here now, and it's been here for a long, long time. Now, does all that sound, cool, cashless society? One man under rules the entire world, one world military. It all sounds great, but it's a deception. Right. Okay. Now, I guess my last point in sharing that is that when people take this mark, 2 things take place. Okay. He is going to bring a peace treaty, but it's a false peace treaty, okay? The world's supposedly going to be at peace, but he's also going to tell people that if you don't worship my image, you can no longer buy, trade, or sell. So here we have the economy, and here we have religion, if you will. Worship me, or you cannot buy, trade, or sell. So he's mixing these 2 together. So the people that take this mark, they are not going to be deceived. They're going to know what they're taking, because they're going to be forced to worship. They know what they're taking. Right. Many people in these last days will say, you know what, Marvelous? Well, I got to feed my family. Right. I got to do this.
They're already doing it with the whole, thing that's going on with that. Yeah. They're saying, oh, well, I had to do it for my job, or I had to do it for that. So, but think about what you're saying. Do you want to die? If I told you what's in that, essentially it's death. So do you want to get that death and then work to provide for your family, or do you want to live, and really do what it takes to take care of your family? You know what I mean? So I think it's just pure, it says itself, the scripture says, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. They won't care to find out who they are. They won't care to find the truth.
My people perish for the lack of knowledge. Right. Very, very true. If you want to look at a picture, and I say a picture or a shadow of what's to come, we are told to always look in the past because the past will repeat itself.
Right.
If you look in the book of Daniel, there was a king of Babylon, which is modern day Iraq. That was where Saddam Hussein ruled at one point.
Right.
When he would write letters to our U.S. president, which was George Bush at the time, he used to write Nebuchadnezzar or Babylon. Okay. Now, one thing about Nebuchadnezzar, during the time of Daniel, Israel had fell into idolatry. They were taken into captivity into Babylon. They were there for many, many years. Nebuchadnezzar would play musical instruments. He built a statue of himself. And he made everybody bow down and worship him. Okay? So that was a picture of what's to come. Bow down and worship me or else this. Okay?
Right.
So there were three boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that refused.
Right.
So they threw him in the fiery furnace. Okay? And Nebuchadnezzar looks into the fiery furnace and he sees three boys.
Right.
But he sees one more.
Right.
One more. Okay. So those three boys knew what they were getting into. They weren't deceived. They had knowledge.
Right.
The other ones had lack of knowledge and they fell for it. Okay. So what I'm saying is that deception will play a major role in these last days. So when Marvelous tells you, you know what, you don't have to believe me. Go do the research yourself.
Right.
You know, or if not, call me. My number is on the page. DM me and we can talk. You know, I know you get a lot of calls. I know you always tell me a lot of people
Bro.
call you.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that is the best thing that you can do is when people call you, at least give them the sources where you got your info.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit, possibly, when people do call, do you ever get any type of arguments, any type of debates, or?
I get into debates, not arguments, but into debates, and everybody that has called me, bro, and every day people call me, every single day, bro. From the morning, I have missed calls at night. Some people's, our time differences are off. So for people calling from Australia or the United Kingdom or whatever, our time, we're on a different schedule. But everybody that has called has been really respectful, and I'm thankful. Thank you, everybody that has called and has been respectful. And yeah, we've debated over things, I mean, from flat earth to religion to culture or whatever. But everybody has really took the time to research stuff and not just gone off of their cognitive dissonance if they know it. Like I used to be like that,
right.
Like, oh, fuck you, I know everything. Like I'm not gonna believe you. Like, look, who are you? You didn't even go to college or whatever the hell. But these people go and do the research, and then they for the most part, I don't want to say that they give me an apology, but they're apologetic in their way on how they're conducting themselves afterwards, after they find out everything. And they're all, you know what, thank you. And I'm like, you know what, thank you, bro. Thank you. Right. Because I used to be the same way. I'm still learning. I don't know fucking everything, but everything that I want to know, if I feel it's important enough, and it is. A lot of stuff that's being said, even on on every platform that I've been on, bro, especially, this one, we're talking about stuff that has to do with the end times and everything. A lot of people, atheists, can sit there and say, oh, well, who cares about that? I don't care about that. Okay, well, then say you don't care about all the prophecies that are coming true. What do you say about that? What do you say about the mark that you're going to have to take you're going to take that? Oh, well, yeah, it's nothing. I got to, feed my family or whatever. That's like, okay, well, then you deserve to be destroyed then. Yeah. You deserve that. You're
asking to be destroyed.
Yeah, you're asking, you know what I mean? So whatever, if you want to submit to, an authority, people that call themselves the authority of this land or whatever, you submit then. I'm going to die fucking fighting. Right. Like, fuck all that shit. But yeah, getting back to Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel was hired as to be one of the like a reader, if you will, or whatever. He had he prophesied one of the biggest prophecies to Nebuchadnezzar, and it was a dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. You know that story? Mm-hmm. Okay, so everything that Daniel said in this dream is everything that came true, and I can't get into everything. It's a big dream that he had, but everything has came forth, from the 10-headed beast to Rome splitting apart and them going against each other, and the families fighting amongst each other and everything. So yeah, everything has come full circle, bro.
If you look at it, Daniel was a praying man. Mm-hmm. Okay. In that land, during that time, they made a law that nobody can pray to anybody else other than to the image of Nebuchadnezzar. Okay,
Right.
so if you look at it, and if we believe that history repeats itself, I would say eventually, one day soon, they say that we have freedom of speech, freedom of religion. All of our rights are being taken away little by little. Okay.
Right.
Pretty soon, if history repeats itself, there will be laws where we can no longer pray anymore. I had a friend, just a quick example, not too long ago, he was invited to share a Bible study to a Bible group at a high school. It's a Bible study, Bible group. The principal met him at the door and asked him, "What are you going to be teaching on?" And he said, "Well, I believe I'm going to be teaching some parables from the book of Matthew." Okay. And the principal said, "Look, you can say anything you want, but you just cannot say the name of Jesus." That's what he said. And luckily, this guy was bold enough to say, "It's funny. You didn't say I couldn't say the name of Allah. I couldn't say the name of Mary. I couldn't say the name of the apostles. You didn't even say, you can't even say Satan. But all you said was, I couldn't mention Jesus." He said, "Then I won't teach." So we left. My thing is that little by little, whatever your religious beliefs, it's going to come in a time and place where even that will be taken from you.
Right.
Okay. And what did they do to Daniel? Because they caught him praying and he didn't deny it and he didn't lie. They threw him in a den full of lions. And what happened to him? He was protected.
Yeah, he was.
He was protected because he stayed faithful. Now, back to this man that we call the Antichrist. I truly believe that this man is alive right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to share with you a story that was told to me in the early 90s. I had a friend that invited me to a prophecy conference. I really didn't know what this was. I really didn't. So I went. There was a man there from Texas that spoke. And it was an amazing teaching that I still even have the cassette because I bought it that day. And he said that there was a meeting not too long ago. Now, again, I believe this was 92, I believe. That there was a meeting where all the elites of the world, presidents, prime ministers, etc., all met on a boat. And they had just all finished meeting with the Antichrist. Okay. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. This is just what this preacher, I guess, teacher said.
Right.
Fast forward to 2000s. I have a friend that's getting out of federal prison, 15 years. And he's locked up with a bunch of lawyers and judges, people that are somebody out here, people that have high positions, people that would have, if you will, councilmen or mayors, at their house for drinks. Well, he told, a couple of those guys told my buddy that same story. Not too long ago, the leaders of this world met on a boat with the Antichrist. Now, he didn't know that I had already heard of that in 1992. But he tells me, "Hey, man, since you like a lot of that prophecy stuff, I got to tell you something. These guys in there told me this, man. What's up with all this anti-stuff? Is that real?" But it's funny that like almost like a decade and a half later, I hear the same story. So obviously that must have been going around. Obviously there must be this one individual.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that he will arise.
Right.
So, and what is his purpose? To deceive many.
Right.
And you know how it's going to start? With a peace treaty. I come to bring peace. Okay. Now, I never thought this, but a lot of people thought that when Obama got elected,
Right.
they thought he was the Antichrist. You know what they said? If he is not the Antichrist, he's the employee of the month.
Yeah.
Because think about this. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And became the most powerful man on earth. So, anything you care to add on that?
No, bro. I mean, for the people that I wish people would study more, more about prophecy and scripture so they could, have a better understanding of what's to come, bro. I mean, it's sad to see just people, I don't know, getting wasted away, like not caring,
Okay, let's talk a little
like
bit.
for instance, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
When people thought that Obama was the first black president, he wasn't the first black president. There was like 6 other presidents that were black. Well, so-called mixed.
Right. Okay.
But that's crazy. It's a shock when people hear that. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, it's funny because it's usually people that have never looked into it, never studied, are the ones that talk the most.
You know what? I got them right here.
So,
yeah, bro.
But while you're looking for that,
yeah,
again, still talking about deception. Today, people are being deceived to even accept something that is not even natural. Let me give you an example. You just showed me Disney is releasing what dolls? Can you
transgender dolls? Transgender dolls, bro.
And that is by Disney?
Yeah.
And the picture showed a baby girl. What is it? A
baby girl with a boy's genitalia. Yeah.
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 That is deception. That's deceiving the next generation.
Right.
It brings confusion to the next generation. Then people grow up without an identity. Well, I don't feel like a man today.
Yeah, they give them that thought. They put that little seed in their head, bro.
Yes. And then guess what? Well, who you know what this world does now? Who are you to judge?
Yeah. Yeah, they back them up.
Yeah. So, okay.
The presidents, John Hanson, Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln, Calvin Coolidge, Warren Harding, and Dwight Eisenhower.
Okay, so you're saying that these were mixed or?
Well, black and so-called mixed.
Okay.
But of course, by studying, with biology, of course your father is, but some of their fathers were black. Okay. But check them out yourself.
For an example, a lot of people didn't know that Bob Marley's dad was white.
Yep, exactly.
So.
Yep.
But it's good, today people like to say woke. You know what? Just don't be deceived.
Yeah.
You don't have to make up a new word, just to make it sound cool. Many people today are being deceived by what the media is feeding you. One last example, and then we'll change the channel. Had a friend that was in Israel, and he goes there quite frequently. The news shows that there was an old Jerusalem suicide bomber that had went into a bus and blew it up. So I automatically, my friend's over there. So I text him. He received my text message, and I said, when you get a chance, call me.
Yeah.
So he called me, and I said, this and this and this happened. And he said, are you able to rewind it and record it on your phone and DM it to me? I said, yeah, okay, hold on. So I'm going to DM it to you, but call me back. I rewinded it on DirecTV. I shot a little video, sent it to him, and he goes, this thing is a lie.
Damn.
And I said, how do you know? He said, because I am in Old Jerusalem. This is where I'm staying. Okay, so the media would feed you. And you know what it does? It causes panic. You know what people say? Oh, my God, it's going to be a war. Oh, my God, the prices are going to go up.
Right.
Oh, my God. And that's where we're at today. So now, changing the subject up a little bit, somebody wanted me to ask about angels and, demons. Do I believe in angels and demons? And by the way, guys, if you guys follow me on Freaky Tales Podcast on Instagram, feel free to DM me questions. If you guys follow me on _ Tony Vision on Instagram, feel free to DM me. When we're about to go live, ask me some of these questions. Some people have taken the liberty to just hit me up and say, hey, I want to ask you a question. Maybe you and Marvelous can talk a little bit about it. Or you can just hit us on our email at freakytalespodcast@gmail.com. Somebody asked me, do I believe that angels and demons are real? And why? I believe that demons are real because I truly believe that I've seen some. Okay. You believe angels and demons exist?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, if somebody were to say, well, I seen an angel once before, and he was, blonde hair, blue eyes, and he was tall like Brad Pitt, and he had wings.
Right.
First and foremost, that was no angel.
Right.
Okay. Because if you look at all the angels, according to Scripture,
right,
they're frightening things.
Yeah.
They're frightening things. Every time one of them, whether he was an apostle, a prophet, or a disciple, came across an angel, it said that they will fall onto their face first as if they were dead. And immediately the angel would touch them and tell them, fear not. Don't be afraid. Okay. Because these aren't humans, Evil spirits, yes, do exist. I've known people that have been demonically possessed, and I've witnessed exorcisms where they've been cast out.
Right.
You know, a lot of people like to think that, like the movie The Exorcist, like that's real. That's where the devil comes.
Yeah.
Well, that's Hollywood. You know, can different voices come out of you? Yes. You know, I don't know so much, and maybe this is leading off the subject, but levitation, because in the movie, this girl levitates. Do you believe it is possible for a person to be demonically possessed and levitate?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you at all ever seen it or known anybody, or is it just study that you've looked into?
Studying and knowing people, but I never seen it for myself.
Okay.
I've never seen it, bro.
Yeah.
So demons and angels, people get a misconception about demons and angels, like if they're like they have the same authority. They don't. Angels can do demonic things as well. So depending on the authority of God or the Most High, I mean not God, but the Most High, whatever He's giving them to do, they could torment you too as well if they're ordered to do that. Their angels think that it's just like something like it's beyond our comprehension. That's what I'm saying on one of the podcasts that we did, that we have no understanding on what the 13 higher realms or what's so-called heaven, that what the angels could do, bro. Like if they're given the authority to do something, they will do it. And if it's to torment somebody, it will be tormenting them. But demons are literally abominations that are inside of like in the planet, in our firmament, under our firmament. Those are demonic things that could possess people. And those are the leftover spirits from the abominations that were created by the fallen angels.
Okay. Now, somebody may say, okay, Daniel, you lost us right there because you're saying that angels can torment.
Right.
I'm going to give one example of what I believe he is saying, and you could correct me if I'm wrong.
Go for it, bro.
There's 3 kings over the nation of Israel united when Israel was one nation, and I'm talking about biblical Israel.
Right.
The first king was King Saul. After that was King David, and then his son King Solomon. Okay. The very first king, King Saul, was a very, very disobedient king to God. Okay. He served God. God was their king, but the nation of Israel wanted a king just like everybody else. We want a man to lead us, in other words.
Right.
God, we know you're God, and we love you, but we want, so God allowed them to choose. Okay. When he disobeyed God for the last time, and you can read this, it said that God took his hand off of King Saul and allowed a tormenting spirit to go torment him. God allowed that. So is that a possible example?
Right.
Okay. So just in case you guys are wondering where he got that from or why did he say that, that threw me off.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that many of you possibly never studied or looked into,
right,
that it may sound crazy.
Yeah.
But that's one example, Daniel, on how you could probably say things that nobody ever looked into.
Right.
And they'll say, he's está loco, you know?
Like a lot of people, I'm sorry, Tony, a lot of people say, or they'll blame like the devil, they'll blame Satan, they'll blame demons for doing everything. But people don't have the understanding that the Most High has the authority over all. Not a sparrow shall fall without his authority, him saying, okay, go ahead. You know, so he gives the authority. He says, when I finally reveal to you who the Satan or the Satan really is, you guys are going to like literally laugh your asses off. Like, damn, that was him. Like all that time, that was being allowed to torment me. That was being allowed to control the world. That's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing. Not even nothing to a cherub angel, which is only a 4th degree angel. Yeah, like so, it's crazy.
You know, and in the scriptures, we have to state this. There's, and I'm not going to say them in order. There's angels, which are messengers. Then there's seraphims. Then there's archangels, and then there's cherubims.
Cherubims are actually 4 angels.
Okay.
So yeah, archangels, right?
So here you have Satan, the only angel referred to in the scripture as the anointed cherub.
Cherubim, yeah.
Anointed, you know.
Right.
He was the only one. So if you guys were to study the book of Ezekiel, you guys will be able to see what his body organs are, and what
pipes,
and then what he actually looks like on the outside.
Right.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and go ahead and put up the number, Alex, and then we're gonna go ahead and open up our phone calls. We will take our break as well, so that will be coming up shortly. So, okay, hold on one second. Am I connected over there, Alex?
West Side Connection.
Okay. So while we're waiting for our first phone call, you want to go ahead and give that super chat? Or you want to wait till we go to break? Okay, because we're getting a call right now. Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Let's go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Los Angeles. Frank.
What's up, Frank? You have a question or a story?
Yeah, I have a story, man. Check this out. First off, I want to pay my respects to you, Tony, and to Marvelous. You know, what you vatos are doing is solid, you know, out here in the media, you know, and then it's a lot of, you know, phony baloney type stuff. But, you know, I really appreciate what you vatos be talking about, you know, especially Marvelous too, And, but long story short, though, yeah, I had this one dream like 2 years ago, man. And this dream actually, what inspired me to even call up was Marvelous's dream. That one dream he had where, you know, he had the baby and the baby was him. And well, long story short, though, I had this dream of the Antichrist, man. And in my dream, you know, prior to me having the dream, I had gotten down to my knees before I went to sleep and I prayed to God. And I told him, you know, I wanted all this stuff out of my life that I was going through at that time. And, you know, I'm pretty sure the devil didn't want me getting rid of. And so before I went to sleep, you know, I was like, man, I could do this. You know, the devil ain't nothing. Who I pray to is stronger. And the devil's da-da-da. You know, and so when I went to sleep, man, basically he came to me in the form of like Jesus, you know, and I know I only got a little bit of time left, but his eyes, man, it was just his eyes and how he kept telling me to come to him. And I was trying to step away, you know, and I was walking up the stairs backwards, and next to these stairs, it was like a field of grass, and the whole time he didn't remove his eyes from me, man, and he was burning like this thing where, I don't know if you guys seen in the Catholic Church when they're blessing like the whole church, like that incense burner.
Yeah.
And he was like telling me like to come to him in Spanish, and I was like nah, you know. And I found myself going up these stairs, and he went to the side of the grass, and he didn't move his eyes from me, and he just literally just started floating up the grass, something, you know, like I was just like really paranoid after I woke up from that dream, man. I had another dream right after that, but I don't really want to, you know, waste too much time. But yeah, man, that was a crazy ass dream.
Thank you.
And just once again, I want to tell you guys, gracias for, you know, putting this type of stuff out because it exists, Holmes, you know, and
absolutely
it was crazy. Hey, I'll never forget that dream.
Gracias, homie.
And it was at 3:30 in the morning too.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that, brother. You have a blessed night now.
You too, Holmes.
Okay, let's keep it pushing. If you guys want to get to your story, at least I appreciate it that he got straight to his point. So let's get next call. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Yo, what up, Tony?
What's up,
What
brother?
up, Marvelous?
What's up, homie?
Man, calling from New York. Calling, my name is Sergio. You know, YO in the building.
That's
All
right.
good.
Hey, man, what do you guys think about, like, Hollywood? Why, they're doing a lot of, gay shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they're trying to push it heavy. The other day, I saw, Blue's Clues is pushing, like, Blue's Clues, a cartoon show for kids, is pushing, like, the drag queens and parades. Yo, what the fuck is going on, man? What's going on with that shit?
You know what it is? Once again, what we were talking about is deception, and Hollywood belches it out. That's what they do. And they expect everybody to receive it and never to say anything. See, that's how they take away your freedom of speech. How they cancel you. They'll do away with you. You can't speak up against anything that they are coming out with. You just have to accept it. That's where you lose pretty much your rights. You can't say anything anymore. You know, when people ask me certain questions, I try at times to try to stray away from them so I can stay longer on the air, because sooner or later they're going to catch on to what we're doing here and possibly just shut us down, because we're trying to wake people up, especially from deception. But that's where us as parents at home need to raise our children right, you know, our brothers and sisters right, our grandbabies right, and our friends. We need to educate each other. And that's why we say, you know what, instead of criticizing us for what we believe, do the homework, research it yourself. We're just letting you know that, you know, for an example, Marvelous was just sharing with me earlier about Disney releasing transgender Barbie dolls, or baby dolls, I guess. You know, I don't get it, man. Like, I don't really understand it. I guess they want this to be the new norm, but there are still people like us that see that as, you know what, we're not having it. So, Marvelous, anything?
Yeah, but I feel like more people, the more you speak on it, the people are like, oh no, let it be, you know, freedom. But you know, what's wrong is wrong. You know, and what's right is right.
Absolutely.
You know, let's address it. You know,
But go ahead, Marvelous.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But that's the conditioning, homie. The conditioning of the masses that they do. They let you feel like you have an authority or you have a voice. You know, when they go, hey, sign this petition or sign this law. Scripture specifically tells you have no business in these man-made laws or in any type of what do you call that? Oh my God, government. The government's not for us. It doesn't matter if they pass a law now that you agree with. Later on, that'll be abolished. Like all this stuff that people are against gays and people are against this and that and that and that, or people are against abortion or whatever. So they'll go ahead and create a law and abolish that. But later on, it's gonna come to be where you're not gonna have no voice, bro. They want to make you believe that you have a voice, but you don't. It's conditioning. You know, desensitization. My bad. But yeah, you know, like Sodom and Gomorrah, you know, that's where we get the whole term sodomy, you know, and look at all this stuff that they're doing, bro. That it's just sick and twisted, homie. I mean, come on. I don't know.
You know, this one comedian said this, and I didn't say it. This was a comedian. And if you guys want my source, I'll tell you who the comedian is, but I won't say it live. He said that Hollywood he called it the biggest gay mafia.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. That was a good one.
Yeah, and look, you want to live that type of lifestyle, you go for it. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying, with all due respect, don't push it on the people who just don't accept it. Mm-hmm. Many people that cry for tolerance aren't very tolerable. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully we help, brother.
Oh, yeah, bro. One more thing, man. What do you guys think about? Look, freedom of speech, right? You guys were talking about freedom of speech. You know Nori from Drink Champs?
Yes.
Yo, they made dude take down the video of Kanye, right?
That's right.
Because Kanye was talking about Jews and all this and other stuff about, you know, it's freedom of speech, right? Dude could say whatever he want to say, right?
Right.
But they made Nori take down that video. I don't know, because of Revolt TV. Maybe they got some Jews up in that or whatever. But yo, what's going on, man? Nobody can say nothing no more.
Well, I think that they figured that he said a little too much. Look, whether that's truth or not, what he said, the way he delivered it, okay, it just came off crazy. Mm-hmm. Now he could have been saying everything he said could have been true, but the way he delivered it, it's just what came off crazy. And I just believe that's the way they saw him. They probably just weren't having it.
But I feel like if Nori, he's the top dog and he's a gangster and he's a goon and he's from the streets, he's from New York, he's from Queens. Yo, stand by it, bro. Don't take the video down. Don't take the thing down, bro. Stand by it, man. You are man enough to bring Kanye. You know, stand by it, bro.
I believe it.
Whatever the consequences come with it, stand with it, bro. Because at the end of the day, you brought him in. You accepted Kanye for the interview. You know, stand for it. You know, but he folded at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it shows.
But yeah, that's all I have to say, man.
It shows a lot of these people are more into the money, bro. You know, they're more worried about their money.
That's what it is, right? That's what it is, right?
These likes and followers and all this and that, right? 2 years ago, homie, I'm not gonna say the platform. but I was supposed to be on a big platform, bro. And the night before I was supposed to fly out to go be on this platform, we ended up getting in a disagreement over what I was presenting and what they hit me up for. They said it was anti-Semitic. They said it was hate speech, and it was none of that, bro. I was only repeating and showing the public, the masses, on history books, pictures, how we were lynched as people, how they did the same thing to us, or so-called melanated people, or I mean Latinos and Hispanic and all this and that, and that's what they contacted me to talk about. And the night before, bro, they said it was anti-Semitic. The same week that I was gonna do that platform, Nick Cannon had his platform. I think, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. It was a good platform, bro. But he had a dude that I've learned a lot from named Professor Griff. Shout out to Professor Griff, smart individual. And he said, before they even started it, he said that he wasn't going to apologize for anything that he was saying. It's not hate speech. He was just presenting facts on history, facts on biology, just factual things that and it's true. He said he wasn't going to apologize. After that, they took his show. They took his show wilding out. And he ended up paying and with an apology, bro. He wrote a whole apology out to the synagogue, the Ashkenazi Jewish people, and he paid up over like $200,000 to them. Like, come on, homie, you grew up in a neighborhood. You said that you weren't gonna do that. You know what I mean? I'm not a celebrity. I don't have a big ass following or none of that shit. But man, you could kill me now because I ain't gonna bow down for what the fuck I'm saying. Like, this shit is fact. They've been killing us. They're still killing us. They're gonna keep on doing it, bro, until we stand up as a people. Like I said, I'm only one ant out this colony. You know, Tony's only one, the second out this colony that's trying to deliver some truth and facts to everybody. And it's up to you to fucking move now in progression with us, you know, as a whole fucking unit of frequency, and manifest this shit into reality so we could really push a movement and really do some shit.
Thank you, caller. Greatly appreciate that, man.
I bet, bro.
Okay, you got it. Let's go. I'm glad you called. That was a good question. Okay, let's see. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
This is another shameless plug. Miguelito's Tattoos on Instagram.
Miguelito's Tattoos on Instagram. Now he's visiting us on Freaky Tales. What's good, my brother?
All right, man. I've been wanting to ask Marvelous this question because this has happened to me a couple of times. Well, not all the time, but because I don't really do this. But sometimes when I have sessions, like especially late night sessions, and I'm doing something that is not cultura, but it's more related to the dark side. You know, there's times where, and that is the reason why I don't do them. But my question to Marvelous is, has there been times where like somebody tells you a tattoo like a Santa Muerte or something related to a demon, and like it just comes out of nowhere, and like either like the conversation just goes bad, or like maybe sometimes like you do the tattoo and like they drop a 40, or like I had one time a guy drop beer on my computer. Mm-hmm. You know, have you ever, you know, these are like personal experience. I don't really want to get into detail, but like, have you ever had situations like that, like with the Santa Muerte?
All those scenarios that you're talking about right now, yeah, homie. I had one when I was first learning about Santa Muerte. Like, this was a long time ago, and some dude came to me and he asked me, "Hey, can you do this tattoo for me?" And I asked him, he said it was the Grim Reaper, you know, and I mean, they're kind of similar or whatever, but I asked him, you know, and he goes, "Oh, nah, it's the Grim Reaper or whatever." I'm like, "Nah, it's the Santa Muerte," you know, and anyways, I ended up doing it on him. And then it was crazy because a year later, when I was like more knowledge on this shit, I was like, I felt kind of dumb, you know, I felt played or whatever. And one of his friends came and got tatted by me. And he goes, "Hey, remember you tatted my friend?" And it's funny because he was laughing, homie. Like he kind of lied to you about it was a Santa Muerte piece. And I fucking knew it. I knew it. And it shit got me heated, you know, because he fucking lied to me. He was on my pad, you know. And I'm like, damn, I wish that motherfucker was here. And he goes, yeah, him and his mom. He was on his deathbed or whatever. He was dying from some type of cancer or something. And he ended up selling his soul and stuff to you know, what he believed in, bro. And they did a whole sacrifice thing. He was talking to me all about it. and he came to get that tattoo and dedicated it to that, right? And I was like, oh shit, you know. So it was kind of deeper for me, bro, because like I don't associate myself. If you believe in that, hey homie, handle it. You know, I don't want that around me. I don't want it near, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, bro. I mean, I don't like that because I truly believe and I know for a fact that opens doors, it opens portals, and you know I don't want to let my guard down, homie. I don't want to manifest none of that energy into my life. You know, if you want that for your life, hey, you deserve everything that's coming to you, whether you believe it or not.
Good, Miguelito's tattoos.
And let me just do a little comment on that before I let you go. I agree 100% on what you say. And you know what? I've noticed now that we're in the season, they'll be like, hey, but it's Halloween though. Like, and you notice almost all the tattoo artists right now in the industry, they've been promoting all these flash with brujeria, but they're forgetting about our cultura. What Columbus Day, Thanksgiving, in between these two holidays, we have history over 500 years of fucking, you know, our enslavement of our people, about Saflan, you know.
Yeah.
So,
look how many homies.
I mean, I just want to.
Look how many homies are walking around with the George Washington on them, $100 bill rolls. They have a slave owner on them. They're walking around with the you know, and people get mad, but hey, I don't give a shit. A white Jesus on them.
Exactly.
How many people have a Jesus piece or even have a necklace, a medallion that they're rocking on their? I mean, if they really knew who that
the
was,
pentagram. They're like, that's not satanic.
yeah,
Like the Northern Star. I mean, not to diss Nathaniel. I mean, not to be dissing a platform or nothing, but yeah, dude. A lot of people like the the Dallas Cowboys. You know, I'm not tripping on you, Tony. I know you're a Dallas fan, but you know, but the pentagram it is promoted as a satanic ritual. It's used in you know, that's when you start looking at black magic. You know, actually get the fucking book, and that's the part what you were saying last time with Hocus Pocus. You know, I was all getting into it and shit like it. But hey, dude, you guys keep talking about what you're talking about, but hey, man, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but hey, I had to throw that out there. And gracias, Tony, for this extra time with the famous Marvelous Inc.
Hey, gracias, homie.
It's an honor,
Appreciate you,
homie.
homeboy.
Talk to you.
All right, thank you. Once again, that was Miguelito's tattoos on Instagram. We're gonna take one more phone call, then we're gonna go to break. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what up, Tony? This is Renee from Florida.
What's good, my brother? You have a story or a question?
What up, Marv?
What's up, homie?
A question. What's it called? The wormwood. Have you heard about that?
Wormwood?
The wormwood prophecy?
I haven't heard the wormwood prophecy, but I have read that wormwood word in the book of Revelation. So I'm not sure as far as what you're referring to as far as the wormwood prophecy.
Well, it's like a star that when the third trumpet sounds, and I heard this preacher, Tom Horn, he's talking about the meteorite, Apophis, that's heading to Earth on 2029, right at the 13th.
Okay. Well,
he's saying that could be the wormwood prophecy.
One thing that I've always been leery, and I'm not saying that, I'm leery of this preacher because I don't know who he is. It would be unfair for me to say that, but I'm very leery of people that set dates.
Yeah.
I'm very careful with date setters because in the Old Testament, today, everybody's lining up to be a prophet because there's prophet in it. In the Old Testament, the Tanakh, the Torah, okay, if you were a prophet and you prophesied something and it didn't happen, what would happen to you? You'll be stoned to death.
Boom, later.
You'll be today. There's no repercussions for that, so they can lie, and then just
exactly.
So,
this, sir, my bad, bro. But this is NASA has this the date set already. So he's not setting the date, but God gave him a revelation through a dream. And he also gave him a revelation about the Pope that he was going to retire. And that had never happened before.
Right.
And nobody wanted to believe him. But when it came true, he started to get more famous. And then he got this revelation about this meteorite, the name of Apophis. He actually died and God showed him this. And he's kind of against NASA because he thinks NASA's saying that it's going to pass through Earth, but they don't want to let people know that it's gonna like hit us.
Okay.
So he's actually trying to help us.
Okay.
You know, so if you want to look it up, I'm a Tom Horn.
Tom Horn. Okay.
Simon.
Okay, great, man. Thank you for calling in and sharing that. You're the last caller before we go to break. And we'll be back in
All
about
right,
5
bro.
minutes.
Thank y'all, man. Have a good one.
You too, my bro. Okay. So we're going to go ahead, you guys, and take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to come right back and pick it up right where we left off. And so get ready in 5 minutes. Be ready to, ask your question or share your story. So thank you, Alex. Go ahead and you want to go ahead and read that super chat?
Yeah.
So right now we got people calling, but just to let you guys know, we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, the super chat is from Agenda Tony 1. He dropped $2. And he says, I fools wear red thong for protection from evil eye.
Okay.
There's more? Okay, Gatsby, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it.
Gatsby.
Oh, Gatsby? All right. Gatsby's dropped $4.99. And he says, hello from Hearst Castle. Hearst Castle?
Mm-hmm.
Things are extremely spooky up here at night. Jack Osborne is filming here for his new show, Haunted Homecoming. So there.
Okay.
Oh, there's more? Okay.
Get it together, homie.
Ruben Sandoval dropped $9.99. He says, great show. Love you guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're good.
Okay, we'll be back in 5 minutes. You guys, please don't forget. Okay. Welcome back, everyone, to Freaky Tales, episode 44, with my co-host, Marvelous Inc. Marvelous, everything good so far?
Good. Gravy.
Let's go ahead and open up the calls once again. We got another call already.
Damn.
Yes. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Chris from Arizona. And how you guys doing?
We're doing good tonight, man. Thank you for calling in and being a part of the show.
Yes, I wanted to add to something you guys said, and then the question. What I was gonna say is, you guys were talking about the Antichrist. I heard some guy on YouTube named Dr. Phil Valentine. Hello?
Yes.
Saying in one of his lectures that the Antichrist was either, I forgot who he said it was. I think he said it was Prince William or the other guy. I forgot the other guy's name, Prince Harry. One of those two. That if you guys agree with that or not, and also if you or Marvelous have ever seen any of those cartel murder videos online. If yes, which one was the most gruesome one you guys have seen?
Okay, well, let me tackle first. The first question is, do I believe any of those guys are the Antichrist? And I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I truly believe that this man would be hidden so well, nobody's going to know who he is until he makes his grand entrance. And let me give you a biblical picture or a biblical example.
Yeah.
Okay. The Last Supper, Jesus is eating with his disciples celebrating Passover. Okay. Jesus says, there will be one of you here that will betray me. Now, if you read that portion of the gospel, the rest of the disciples began to question themselves and began to say, Lord, is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Is it me? That tells me that Judas hid it so well that the disciples could not even tell that he was a thief, could not even tell that he was the deceiver. He hid it so well for so long, for about 3.5 years, that they began to question themselves. So we all know the story. Jesus gives them something to eat, and he eats it, and he tells Judas, "That what you do, go do quickly." Then the next scripture we shared earlier, then Satan entered into him. My whole point in saying that is that I believe that whoever this person is going to hide it so well. I don't believe anybody's going to have any type of indication, because he's going to deceive many. I don't think he's going to come as a mean person. I think he's going to come as a loving person. He's going to win over the world.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why a lot of people were saying that Obama was, because people were at his speeches, people were falling out and people were crying and like almost like something had arrived. So what I am saying is that I believe until he makes his grand entrance, nobody's going to know who he is. That's at least the way I see it from my perspective. Marvelous, anything you care to touch on?
I think people were touching on that because the whole conspiracy with the Queen Elizabeth and all the stuff with the child sex trafficking and, you know, Princess Diane, and then also with the Denver airport kind of suggesting that the Antichrist is going to be a blue-eyed, blonde-haired child that's going to come out of, you know, the Caucasian, I guess, bloodline. I don't know what they're going to say. I think they say it's a German boy. And if people know Queen Elizabeth, she was German. You know, if you go back to her bloodline and where she truly comes from. So I think that's what where they tie all that in together. Okay, so the cartel thing. Did you answer that? Did you want to answer that, bro?
You know what? I don't watch that stuff.
Nah,
no.
You haven't seen none of. Well, I mean, you probably seen some.
I've seen actually one.
Yeah.
Where they chop a woman's neck off, head off.
Yeah, okay.
It was actually a small knife.
Yeah.
And she was crying and yelling, "No, no,
Yeah,
no!"
Damn.
And they took.
It sounds like Marvelous has seen a lot of them. The way
I seen a gang of them, bro. But one that's really I mean, they're all messed up, you know, and you know it's sad. My respects to the families, you know, that got to go through that. But one of the messed up ones I seen, bro, was they had these pit bulls on one dude, and the pit bulls just ate the dude. He's alive, you know. They ate all his genitals, and he's still screaming. And it's like, dang, you know, even if you did survive that, like, what would make you think that dude would want to live, you know?
Yeah.
Like after that, that's just like,
right.
It sucks, homie.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna bring up the one about the father and the son down there. I forgot the name of that one.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard about
yeah,
that.
they made the son. They made the dad watch the son get beat first, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I seen that one. I mean,
yeah, that was crazy.
yeah, that sucks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, brother. Thank you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, homie.
All right, man. Thank you, guys.
Okay, let's keep it pushing.
Damn, that was a different question.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of freaky. So.
Should have a cartel night.
Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Linda. I'm calling from the Bay Area.
How you doing, Linda? Thank you for calling in and being a part of the show.
Oh, thank you. I just want to give a shout out to you guys. Great show. It's great to hear you every Friday. So just quickly, I wanted to ask for your guys' interpretation of heaven, and if by any chance, where have you found that interpretation in the Bible? And then what Bible do you guys read from?
I read for multiple Bibles, and when I say multiple Bibles, I'm talking about different translations. You know, like for an example, the King James 1611, that one has these, thous, theys, and nays. That was actually my first one that I actually started reading. It was a little difficult because, once again, of the Old English. Then in the mid-90s came out the new King James, which took out the, theys, these, thous, and nays, okay? Started reading that one. Another good one that I liked was the New American Standard. And there's another one, I believe it's the Amplified. The ones I stay away from are the New International, the Message. To me, the Message Bible is just something very ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And then there's the Living Bible. The Living Bible, yeah. I just don't think that the New International takes out a lot of scriptures. I believe that the Message Bible is just pure paraphrase. I'll give you an example. John chapter 1, I believe it's chapter 1 verse 14, and it says he lived amongst us, and he tapped. Oh God, I don't remember, but please look it up when you get a chance. John chapter 1 verse 14, and then compare it to the Message Bible, and it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. It'll say, so that's why I stick to pretty much those three translations: the 1611, the New King James, and I would say the other one I just said, New American Standard. Now, when you say what is heaven going to be like, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of like what heaven would be like, pretty much. Yeah, just to sum it up.
Okay, I'm going to give you the same answer that the Apostle Paul gave. He said that he was taken to the third heaven. That's what he said. Mm. Okay. And when we talk about heavens, at least from a biblical perspective, from my understanding, the first heaven would be the sky. The second heaven would be outer space. And the third heaven would be where God resides, which is in the north. Okay, now, Paul was taken up into heaven. And when he came down, he said that he couldn't find the words, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, to utter what he saw. He just couldn't. Okay? Now, this is why I'm against people that write books and say, I saw heaven. And then they give you a whole description when here's the Apostle Paul, who met with Jesus on the road to Damascus. And he was blind, and after 3 days, Ananias lays his hands upon him, and he regains his sight back. And he was taken up to the third heaven. He says, I am not allowed to speak or utter the words for the things that I saw. But yet here we have people selling books saying, oh, I saw heaven. If Paul couldn't talk about it, what makes you think that you can talk about it? So I'm going to give you Paul's answer, and I'm going to go with him. I guess we'll find out if we ever make it. Mm. Anything? How was that answer?
It was complicated, bro. Nah, but you did it good.
I was trying.
Yeah.
Anything you care to?
Okay, wait. So I got I got lost in that whole answer you just gave, bro. But can you repeat the question one more time? It was about heaven, right?
Yes. Caller.
Can you like your interpretation of heaven, or how heaven would be.
Okay, so that's from scripture. What I get from scripture. So the scripture that I get, it comes from Torah, and I try to look up the true definition in Aramaic or Hebrew. You could use an app called the Blue Letter Bible, and it'll give you the definitions in various languages. And you can come to your conclusion, or you could just go based on specifically what was written in Torah and Scripture. So the Bible that I do recommend people, if they are going to study the Bible, the King James Version, 16th century Bible. The NIV, stay away from that, like Tony said. There's a lot of scriptures taken out and removed from the Bible, such as fasting. Here. So you got Matthew 17:21. That's completely removed. Matthew 18:11, Matthew 23:14, Mark 7:16, Mark. They removed a lot. I could keep going, and those are from all the new Bibles that they're removed. So I suggest that you stay with the original if you could get the original context, and it comes with instructions. Oh man, I feel like we repeat ourselves.
Hopefully we answered your question.
Precept study, precept upon precept. And yeah,
and hopefully that shed a little
pray
bit of light.
before you study.
That's key right there.
Yeah.
Pray before you study. So.
All right. Well, I'm gonna email both of you guys because I was trying to write notes, and I know there's a lot to it, but I'll definitely email you guys.
But there's 13 realms of heaven, and there's 9 lower realms of evil or bad frequency.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's go to the next caller. Hi. Okay, caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Tony? My name's Luna from the 805.
From the 805? What's good, my brother? Thank you for calling in tonight, man.
Not much, man. Yeah, I want to say good show as always. Happy Halloween to the both of you guys. Blessed be.
You know what's funny? That we can hold on. Give me 1 second. We can say Happy Halloween to each other, and there'll be no problem. There'll be no issues. But I want to bring something up before Christmas comes up, because now if we tell somebody Merry Christmas, somebody will say, no, it's Happy Holidays. Why? Well, because I don't want to offend nobody, because some people don't believe in Christmas. But we can say Happy Halloween to each other, and it's not offensive. But when it comes to Christmas, it's offensive. That's all I wanted to say, brother. But thank you, and Happy Halloween to you too.
Yeah. Yeah, but not only that, but what I wanted to talk about is being out here in the 805. There is a lot of stuff, like a great show. Especially right now, coming into the Halloween season. I've done my job. I do like cleanup and stuff and whatnot, but when I first started doing this, there'd be a lot of times where we were finding like we were getting called to pick up a lot of random animals for sacrifices and different stuff out here, You gotta remember we're on the outside of LA, in LA. Earlier you guys were talking about possessions and whatnot. I mean, you don't have to go very far. You can look at a lot of the homeless people, that are possessed over a different type of spirit where they're talking to themselves and whatnot. So everything you guys were talking about and a lot of other stuff, and I think it comes down to the believer and what you choose to believe and not to believe, or accept and not to accept, is really what separates, here and now, and I love your guys' show. Marvelous, you taught me so much. Tony A, you taught me a lot as well too. But
thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, but one really quick as well. I witnessed, and again, both of you guys can contest to this, and a lot of people can, is that you probably experienced some stuff where it could have been some good luck, right place, right time. And you can tell somebody a story and they won't believe it. You could say, hey, it could be something crazy, good, bad, spiritual, or whatnot, but I have myself, seen a 13-year-old little girl. This isn't a 13-year-old girl now, but this was many years ago. Her voice changed, and we went to go into prayer and a lot of other stuff, So that stuff, like I said, there was a handful of us that were there, and I've seen it. I've experienced it where the people I was with, they said open up doors, open up windows, and it was very, very, very weird and eerie, being in that room. And I was just there being a driver to the people that went there to go check on this little girl. So, being out here, as a kid, again, out here in the 805, we've chased the chief old man. There's a lot of cool stuff that, and that's why I say, Happy Halloween and blessed be, man, cause, it is real, but yeah, so like I said, Happy Halloween, everybody. But yeah, it is real. And again, a lot of people probably think that Marvelous is crazy because they think the world's flat and everybody else. But again, like I've experienced stuff, and there was something you guys talked about the other day on the show. I watch you guys all the time, bro. And there was just stuff where I feel like myself, I know like I heard Marvelous talking about it's an M word, and I don't know exactly what it is, but that's inside our blood that makes us different. And every other, nationality, race, or whatnot, they all carry something different. But I believe in my heart that it's something special that's within ours. That's why we're able to, cook, clean, harvest. We're not, dumb people. We're very smart and intelligent. But there's a lot of things that I've experienced myself, bro. Where I'm talking about like able to turn on light switches and turn them off and move things, and it's pretty cool, And I'm just saying here, as believer that, again, and then as well too, and I'm gonna end with this. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents in, being able to sit at your guys' table and share with your listeners, at an awesome time right now. So, and I speak openly. But the other thing somebody had asked you guys, I think, to study on the Santa Muerte and speak on it a little bit more. And myself, I'm a believer such as you guys are for the most part. And I'm going to end with this. Maybe you guys can speak on it and help me on both of your guys' stuff. As I finish watching the show is, the Virgin Mary, was the mother of Jesus and whatnot, and there's a whole other stuff. Again, yeah.
Right.
But from what I'm learning is Santa Muerte is the sister of. So Mary comes to bring life and Santa Muerte comes to bring death. And I think a caller a couple of shows ago asked, what is the good thing about Santa Muerte? And not just for myself, but from what I've seen is the protection from those people that want to bring harm to you. You know what I'm saying? Because, when it comes to either us or them or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? We're all going to choose like for the benefit of ourselves, So for the Santa Muerte, it's just more of the death, the protection, because as much as we celebrate life, and a lot of people, for myself, I accept death a little bit more different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not very dark or gothic or any of that shit. But I'm just learning as well too. Right. Why we bring a Christmas tree, light fireworks, and all this other stuff. I'm a curious mind. I'm a curious disciple, and like I said, blessed be, happy Halloween, you guys, and I'll just end with that stuff.
Cool. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Let's go to the next caller. Callers, please get to your point. Get to your point. This is why a lot of people can't get through. We appreciate everyone that calls in, but I respectfully ask, please be mindful of everybody that's trying to call in. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hello. Here's a question for Marvelous. This is Robert from West Covina.
What's up, Robert?
And this week the CDC came out with a child. They want to add the COVID vaccine for the childhood vaccinations. It seems like they're very, very desperate. The government, or I don't know what's going on, that they want to pass some kind of digital ID, where that's like the mark of the beast. Like you need the COVID vaccine to be part of society. Mm-hmm. And when in 2030 or 2035, when they have the digital ID, you can't buy food, you can't go to work, you can't put gasoline in your car if you're not up to date to all your COVID vaccines. Mm-hmm. And no 2-year-old, no 6-month-old child ever died from COVID. Mm-hmm. And it just seems very desperate. They're either making money, or what do you think? Do you think it's the mark of the beast?
Yeah, it all goes into one pyramid agenda, bro. We're all going to one road that they're just guiding everybody with different agendas, different laws and shit that they're passing, different new vaccine. Oh, there's a different strain of this. There's a different fucking strain of that. Oh, you need this. Oh, we just passed this law. You need now your kid needs to have this. Oh, now you need to update your software on your phone or your smart device to have this. And now they want more access to your pictures. They want more access to your fucking contacts. They want to control every damn thing aspect of your life. And now they want to put a chip inside you to control you. To control your frequency.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And also, this week it came out also that in Boston University, they created a COVID strain that more powerful, and the kill rate is 80%. I thought it was illegal to do that type of research in the United States, but in the laboratory, they created a COVID vaccine that is deadlier And
Okay.
80%. I mean, I don't. To me, I was shocked.
Okay, and this is the thing, bro. Since we're talking about, I'm just gonna talk about it because you're talking about it. This is not a blood-borne pathogen. It's not a blood-borne pathogen. If you want more facts to this, I'll give them to you. Hit me up. It's a 5G program using radio frequency to manipulate your pineal gland. If your pineal gland is aggravated in any way, shape, or form above its natural state, it's going to cause aggravation, which causes inflammation around the area that you're truly affected from. So if you have liver failure, if you have kidney damage, if you have any real bloodborne if you have AIDS, if you have any type of cancer, it causes inflammation in that area, and the white blood cells cannot attack that area. They cannot break it down. So you'll succumb to that. You'll die from it. So on your death certificates, they're going to write, COVID-19 or whatever the hell, but it'll have your real circumstances of death above it: heart attack, heart failure, kidney disease, or whatever. That's what you really died from, not this. But it's a frequency that's being emitted to you that's making you die. You know, so we need to.
Yeah, my cousin, he got his fourth booster shot. I begged him, and he was making fun of me, and I told him, please don't do it. Don't get the vaccine. It's bad for you. Anyways, he got a heart stroke.
Right.
Like a week, 2 weeks after getting the COVID.
Right.
And now he lost his memory, his job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was healthy. I saw him a month ago, and he was totally healthy. And now I feel bad because I warned him, and I feel like, oh my God, I don't know if he blames me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for calling.
I just right there. Right. I love your show on Friday.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, homie.
Okay. Let's keep it going. That was pretty interesting. I like that one. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Manny from Phoenix, Arizona. How's it going, guys?
It's going good. But thank you for calling in and being a part of the show, man. What's on your mind?
All right. Well, I wanted to share one thing. I know you guys talked about cults before, and there's this cult that I just found out about. I watched like shows on YouTube, like podcasts, but this is actually in Mexico, and I'm not sure when it was. Maybe 70s. Could have been 60s in the 1960s, but if you guys haven't heard about it, it was really messed up because it was like a small town. I think it was in Coahuila, your home state, you know, where your parents are from.
Yes.
Or it might have been Tamaulipas. But yeah, like it's this small rural town, like where people just farm, you know, but they were uneducated, and these con artists came in and acted like prophets of like Aztec gods or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy, man.
It was the second city that you mentioned, bro. I know what you're talking about. My bad. I'm sorry for interrupting you, bro. But go ahead.
No, all good. You heard about it?
Yeah. I think they were brothers.
Yeah.
And they manipulated them, bro. And they would have these ritual sacrifices and all this shit. They manipulated the whole town.
Oh, man. No, it's those.
Wow.
Fucking crazy people like that exist, man.
Yeah, they were doing sacrifices up there, and there's like some caves or a cave system that's up there on top. But there was real witches that lived up there, bro, that were sacrificing people as well. Like a lot of kids. I think there was a little boy that went to the sheriff's department. I'm not the sheriff's department. The police right there in Mexico, and was telling them about his brother or somebody that his friend that went missing up there, and they heard screams and all this and that, and they were trying to tell them, and then I guess one of the officers reluctantly went up there, and he ended up disappearing, and yeah, they said it was just straight like they're just witches, bro.
Yeah, man, I was kind of shocked. I never heard about that, you know. But yeah, I mean, just wanted to share that, and
I'm gonna have to
next time you guys talk about cults, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because I've never heard that story, so that's very interesting. All good, man. Thank you.
Yeah, that story makes Charles Manson's cult look like, you know, like amateurs, man. Like it was fucking crazy.
Yeah. Thank you, bro, for calling in. Greatly appreciate it, homie.
For sure, man. Good night.
Good night. Let's go. Let's keep it pushing. Let's see. I appreciate these calls, you guys. I appreciate the questions and the stories. Caller, your name and where you calling from? You may have us on Bluetooth. It sounds terrible.
Yo, I'm calling from Phoenix, man.
What's good, man? Thank you for being a part of the show. Do you have a question or a story?
Yeah, I got a question. So, long story short, a couple years back, my dad got locked up out here, and he doesn't have any papers. They sent him back to Mexico. Long story short, he tried crossing, I think like 3 different times before the last time he ended up going missing. He ended up going missing in the desert, Arizona, and right there in Sonora. My question is so he ended up going missing and stuff, and then like after a year, some hikers or whatnot ended up like spotting his remains, and they got in contact with the organization that we were working with, and with the DNA and everything, I guess it turned out to be 99.9% that it was him. But my question is does that lie? Because you know what I mean? It was just bones that I seen. It wasn't, it was an actual, body. It was bones. And then my next question is will I ever find out what happened with my dad if that is him? Because I really don't know what happened or how he passed.
I guess the question is, will he ever find out whatever happened to him? That's a real tough one, man. You know what? Because from what little I heard, because either it's wind or a bad connection with your phone, you're saying that they found bones, but you're not sure that is your dad? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So pretty much they found some remains, and they did DNA testing on it, and they said that it was 99.9%.
Okay.
But my question is is there maybe a possibility that it could be wrong, and my dad is out there somewhere, and he can't get a hold of me? Because my dad had crossed the desert 5 previous times, and he had experience. He had 2 working phones. He had an American phone and a Mexican phone, and he had called me when he was out there in the desert, and he told me that he was gonna get here in a certain time or whatever, that he was gonna call me the next day. And the people that he was with, they were kind of they were kind of iffy, maybe they did something to him, I don't know. But my question is am I ever gonna find out, or am I just gonna live not knowing what happened?
That's a tough one, man. It's hard for me to even answer, because I definitely understand, I guess the only thing we can do is just
whack, man.
Yeah, it's terrible. If you don't mind me asking, how long ago did this happen?
It happened back in 2018 when he went missing. He went missing in September, early September, and it was supposed to be a 5-day walk, and man, it was a whole mess, and I kind of feel like the people that he was supposed to come with it, that they did something to him, because it's kind of weird that he had 2 phones and he couldn't get in contact with me at all, even if he was feeling sick or something, and I was just having my first child around that time, and he was pretty excited. That's really what motivated him more to come, and I really don't think that he would just let himself just die, or you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
My dad had experience, my dad was from the rancho and everything.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's done it 5 other times. But yeah, man, it just sucks, living like that, not knowing what happened.
No, I know that. Me personally, the way I would handle it, 2 ways. I would just hope that he's still alive, but when you say he's 99.9% that it is him, I wouldn't.
That's sorry, it is him.
Yeah, I would be speechless, bro. I wouldn't even want to. I wouldn't know what to say, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to say. Just
Yeah, yeah.
I feel for you, man. I feel for you, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry that you're having to go
He was
through
only
all this.
52, man, when he went missing.
Yeah, yeah, he was fairly young.
Yeah.
Hey, my condolences,
Yeah, man,
my
you know,
condolences
he was-
to you, bro. But I'm gonna say this to you, bro. Just know that he's living on through your seed, homie. I mean, through you and your baby. You know, so he's here with you. He lives through you. You know, Scripture says that. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
take it,
for sure, man,
take it
for
like
sure.
that, homie. You know, and just blessings your way, bro. You know.
Thank you, my bro. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah,
and once
yeah.
again, my condolences.
All right, man, for sure. I appreciate you guys.
You got it. All right, let's keep it going.
Man,
We
that
gotta-
sucks,
I
man.
know. Yeah, you know the part that hurts is not knowing.
Hell yeah.
You know, so call her your name and thank you for being part of the show.
Hey, good evening, Tony. Hey, good evening, Marvelous. This is D-Man calling from Merced, California.
What's up, homie?
Hey, nothing much. Question for both of you guys. As far as like being able to see ghosts or spirits, is that, you guys feel like that's something that only certain people could see, or is that someone that everybody's able to see?
I believe only certain people can see. That's just me.
Okay.
But I think it's something. I think it's something you don't ask for. You know, I think I was just with. I don't even want to say I was born with it, but I have been able to see a lot of things in the supernatural realm that I wish I didn't because they weren't pretty. You know what I'm saying? They were scary. What is your answer to that question?
I think the same thing with that. You surprised me with that answer. I didn't think you were gonna say that, bro. I think you were gonna say everybody could see it, but no, I think certain people could see it, bro.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
So, why have you experienced anything? Have you seen anything?
I haven't, but at the last house that my wife and I used to live at, she was able to see a little girl that was always just like playing with toys and stuff like that. But she was also able to see an older white cowboy gentleman that she described that he looked pretty mad that we were there at that house. But I was never able to see anything, so that's why I was wondering.
Okay.
You know what's crazy, bro, is that when older people, and I've experienced this with a couple of people, like including my grandparents, my grandma before she died, like 5 months when she was like, you know, literally like on her deathbed and stuff. She was about 98 years old. She would always say when I would go into the room in the morning to feed her and lift her up, I used to have to lift her up with this chain and stuff and put her on her wheelchair. And she would say, "Oh, you missed the little girl. The little girl, she came in with a real beautiful dress and that she would spend time with her. This little girl, she always talked about this little girl that would come in the room and stuff like that." And I just trip out, you know? And then I heard the same thing from another older woman that would say, "Yeah, this little girl," and she ended up dying within months too. A little girl walked into the room and would visit her and talk to her and make her laugh. And just when somebody would come near or whatever, that's when the little girl would go away or disappear or whatever. But I just thought it was a trip.
Oh man, well, let's not hope it's my wife's turn then.
Oh, my bad, bro. I didn't even think about that. My bad, homie. But nah,
Yeah,
probably
no,
most
it's all
likely
good.
not.
Okay, bro.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, let's go.
I didn't even think about that shit right now while I was saying that. Stupid. Marvelous, you idiot.
Caller, your name and where you calling from.
Hey, what's up? My name is Eddie from Pasadena, and I had a question for Marvelous. I wanted to ask you, do you feel like this time period or this generation is kind of watered down? And what I mean is like from everything now becoming a trend to like everybody just feeling more comfortable with like hearing lies than the truth with social media or what these politicians say.
Facts, bro. Facts. Everybody's accepting of everything because of the desensitizing methods that they use. What they show you gay shit, if they show you whatever it is, pedophilia, if they talk about transgender people, they're going to talk about your kids or whatever. It's like it's already put in your head before it's going to happen. You know, through cartoons, through movies, through in the music, a bunch of shit. They made it okay to be that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it is
And
watered
I
down,
also-
bro. Go for it.
Yeah, and I also saw you said Disney supposedly is releasing a transgender doll, and I'm like, what the fuck is that all about? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, that's
Like-
true. I just saw it
Like-
before we went live.
Mm-hmm.
So I really
And
don't know what that's about.
Yeah, that's a trip. Like, and I also had a question for like Tony, and I wanted to ask you. I saw in your story post about the Kardashians' dark secret, like supposedly like the mother or ancestor like did like some kind of ritual so that her bloodline could receive her next generation bloodline could receive fame and wealth, and the celebrities that the Kardashians were married to or were with lived miserable, and I was wondering if you could break that down, like what was all that about, if you know what I'm talking about.
Well, two members of my team tagged me, and I reposted it. One of them was Norbert, and then the other one was my son. You know, I don't think you have to be, a supernatural investigator to see that every time somebody gets with these women, something happens. You know, either they go crazy or all of a sudden they want to be a woman. You know, they want to be a woman.
Yeah.
Look, I don't care what anybody says. There's something demonic going there. But the thing is, you say demonic and then you look at them, they look very beautiful. So to the natural eye, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But
Right.
that's the way evil comes, though. That's deception, you know. So
Deception.
Yeah, so that's why I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said deception can come in all different forms.
Absolutely.
Like in appearance.
If deception came ugly, do you think any of us would be attracted to it?
No, most likely not. At sad reality.
Right. Now, if you look at the fruit in the garden, it said it was desirable and pleasure to the eye. So they ate of it. That's what the enemy is going to
Right.
do. Bring something that's going to be desirable to the eye for you to be deceived.
They want you to eat the fruit so you could become a fruit.
There you go. And we're just being
Where's that
sarcastic.
team
here.
back? Shh, come on. Got him.
It's like how Satan deceived Adam to like eat the apple.
Yes, and you know what? And that's even deception because the scriptures never even told us what type of fruit it was.
Hey, bro, I have a question. I have a question for you. Do you have a YouTube channel?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
You know who you sound like?
I'm just a what?
You sound like a dude. There's a dude that has a really well-known YouTube channel, bro. You sound exactly like the dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I'm not. No, I do not. Like, I'm not a YouTuber. I just like try to. I guess I follow you on Instagram and as well as Tony, and I keep up with what you guys post. Just to like at least some wisdom and education, and like you said, do the research myself.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so
Like-
much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, like I wish both of you nothing but success in life.
You too, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, and I appreciate all the wisdom and mad respect.
All good, my brother.
Gracias.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed one, homie. Okay, let's keep it pushing. We got some super chats. People want to ask marvelous questions.
Do them.
Well, we'll wait. We got a couple of more calls. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey guys, this is Pedro from San Jose, California.
Pedro from San Jose. Thank you for calling in.
No problem. So I just have a quick story and a question. So I know a couple calls ago, some dude called about the Grim Reaper and whatnot. Here's a quick story of a guy that I wouldn't say he's a family friend, just some guy we know of. Dude was he was normal, whatever type of guy. And then one day his girlfriend left him. He was very like obsessed with her, right? And someone told him, "Oh, go pray to this, and you'll get it back." So he went. And what he asked for, he said, "If I can't have her, then may she not be with anyone." Correct. But I think they kind of went a little bit the extra mile. So he cut his finger and pinched blood on the statue or idol, whatever you may want to call it. You know, he waited about a week and a half passes by, and what ends up happening is the girl died. Now, dude is very upset because he thought, oh, you know, he didn't think of it literally as like, oh, if she doesn't come with me, may she die. He just said, may she not be with anyone else. And so she didn't end up with him. And what ended up actually happening is, dude ended up getting possessed, and they said he had about 7 demons in him. Sorry. And for his exorcism, they said it was very, very, very hard to get him out of them. And then for Marvel, this is another question. I don't know if you heard that supposedly when you get to Antarctica, there's that wall of ice. They say that supposedly passing that, there's about 20 more countries. I don't know, something along the lines. I don't know if you've heard that. And then the third question, did you guys look into the reptilian thing I sent you?
Oh, you're the one that sent it to me. You know what? You were supposed to resend it to me, and you didn't.
I did.
Which
I think you said you even read it when I resent it.
Which one was it? Bro?
I don't. Wow. Okay.
Did I open your message, homie?
Yeah, both of you guys did.
Oh man, my bad.
It said red.
I was probably working.
Cool. I mean, I'll send it again.
Hey, my bad. I was probably working, homie. But my bad, bro.
Okay.
No, hey,
this guy had 3 questions. We gotta just stick to one.
Okay.
So
go for it, bro.
No. Whatever. You're already on it.
Well, I heard the second question. So the second question is about the land, right? So I know there's land. I mean, I don't know for a fact. I haven't been there, so don't judge. Don't talk shit. So not you, bro, but anybody in the comment section. So there is land, you know, according to Admiral Berg, past the Arctic wall. But the other land masses, like the continents, those, I don't believe that they're actually land masses there. Those are other planets, other dimensions.
Right.
So that's what I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, for sure. No, appreciate you guys. Keep doing your thing. Stay for watching. Have a good one, man.
Thank you, homie.
Thank you. Okay, we got about 10 minutes, so let's go ahead and get this last couple in. Let's go. Thank you, caller. Your name and where you calling from?
What's up, Tony? What's up, Marv? This is Fernando. Born and raised in Southgate, living in Lake Tahoe.
Damn.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, homie? Must be nice out there.
Yes.
It is nice. It's supposed to rain and snow tonight, so we'll see what happens.
That's right.
But I'm just calling to check in, man. Just hey, listen, I have nothing to do for yourselves, but please, guys, if you can say a prayer for my son, who was cutting himself due to bullies. He is now in a hospital right now, just trying to get some help. So I just want to say to every parent out there that's got a bully for a son or a daughter, fuck you. Fuck bullies. You know, and it's true, man. That shit hurts. And not every kid can stick up for themselves, you know? So this is like a public announcement to everyone, man. You know, watch out for your kids, man. Talk to them, open up, you know, let them know that they're protected. And that's all I wanted to say, guys. You know, thanks for taking my call. I watch you guys all the time. I respect both of you. And I just had to get it out there, bro, because it's been bugging me. You know what I'm saying? I love Tony. I love you guys and everyone that's chatty. But fuck bullies. You know what I'm saying? Not every kid can protect themselves, man. Not every kid can stand up for themselves. So this one hits home. And I know it's kind of off the subject of what you guys are talking about. But like I said, I respect you guys. And I just want to say out there, you know, parents, if your parents are bullies, you know, fuck you too. You know what I'm saying? But so just please, man, everyone that's out there listening, man, say a prayer for my son. Say a prayer for everyone that's being picked on. You know
what? Let me ask you, what is your son's name?
His name is Santana.
Santana?
Santana.
Okay.
Yes.
I will definitely pray for him tonight.
Me too, homie.
Thank you, Tony. And keep posting those memes, brother, man, because that always puts a smile on my face. And Marvelous, you know, you're respected, homie. You know, I love you guys. I don't know you personally, but you know, just everyone out there, man, say a prayer for my son. You know what I'm saying? I want him to come home already. He's scared to come home, man. He's scared to go to school and shit.
Hey, so when he does get home, bro, like, hey, this is my palabra for real, bro. Like, I'll take a drive up there, bro, and we can go take him to school together. You know what I mean? And you know, we can introduce.
Yeah.
I'll introduce myself to his little friends or his so-called friends or whoever's bullying him. You know, introduce myself, not in a threatening way, but to let him know that, you know, he's got friends
that he's loved and protected.
Yeah.
So
absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys, and thanks for you doing. Your entertainment is awesome. Your platforms are good, marvelous. I look forward to seeing your YouTube videos coming out soon.
Appreciate you.
And Norbit, El Boo Boo, Nay Love, you know, Uncle Lino, Mr. Kilo G, all them fools on live chat, man. One love to you guys. Blessings to everyone, man. You know, and stick up for your kids, man.
Absolutely.
You know, no matter if it is, if you gotta go up to the parents and punch them in the face, let them know what's up. But violence doesn't actually solve anything. You know, talking one-on-one to the parent maybe. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, you know, I just ask for everyone out there, bro, to, you know, pray for everyone, every kid that's going through this. You know, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And kids want to hurt themselves because they are being bullied. Yeah. And they are being picked on.
I want to say this, bro. I want to say this real quick. I have a couple of things set up with a couple of schools to talk to some kids about gang prevention. But if you can set something up with that school over there, and I'm not just saying me, but within yourself, and if you do want to have something like that, or to talk about bullying or gang prevention out there, hey, I'm down to take a drive up there, bro, and we could do that shit together. Or, you know, even it's just an example for you to do it for yourself. Talk to the school, homie, and, you know, have something set up with an assembly in the auditorium or wherever they have it on the basketball courts, and talk to these kids about bullying. Let them know, you know, because, you know, we all like to resort to violence and, oh, fuck that kid and I'm gonna beat his parents' ass, or I'm gonna show him how it feels or whatever, and that's really not the answer. You know what I mean? So if we could open this door with conversation, then hey, let's do that, bro, and I'm down to roll with you.
I appreciate you, Marvelous, and Tony. You too, brother. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys, and I like those words, bro. You know, I'm going to look at them, talk to the principal next week, and hopefully my boy can come home soon.
Absolutely.
You know, but thank you for taking my call. I know it's off the subject, off the freaky tales, but I'm glad that sometimes it's good just to let it out, you know, and talk to someone that you really don't know, and they give you advice, non-biased, you know, and but I appreciate you guys, man, and thanks for letting me get this off my chest, brother.
Shout out to the homie Santana,
yeah, man, I love you, son, and you know, he'll be home soon. He's in 7th grade, man, but you know, it can only get better, you know. Only pray for the best.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed one. Thank you. Okay, we got time for like 2 more phone calls, and we're out of here. I appreciate that phone call, though, even though it might have been a little about subject. It doesn't matter when it has to do with children. You know, it means a lot. Caller, your name and where are you calling from? Let's go. We got another call. Caller, your name and where are you calling from? Hello, caller.
Javier, Glendale, California.
Okay, Javier, can you speak a little bit closer to your phone? You sound really muffled.
Give me one. Hello?
Yes.
Better?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Tony? What's up, Marvelous?
What's up,
so I do have a freaky tale.
Yes, go ahead.
This is freaky tales, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so one time, I've never had nothing like this happen to me in Cali, because I'm Cali born and raised. But one day I went to Mexico. I was about maybe 16, 17, and we had like a, you know, just a little get together, the family. We're in Mexico, just drinking, you know, whatever, little stuff like that. And so the night comes to an end, and it's like 2, 3 in the morning. I guess I'm a night owl, so I'm awake still. and I'm laying in the bed, and I guess it comes to that one thing where people were talking about the what's that thing where it's called well, anyways, I'm in my bed and I'm awake, but at the end of the day, like my soul leaves out my body and I see myself looking at myself, but I can't breathe, I can't yell, but I am yelling at the top of my lungs, like, you know, but I'm being pulled down, like I'm going to hell.
Damn.
And it really does scare me, you know. It's like, am I gonna go to hell one day? So pretty much, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I couldn't say nothing. It's crazy because my aunts, my cousin, my little cousins, my aunts were right next to me. Like, we're all in one room. We're in Mexico, bro. Like, so we're talking about, like, you know, it's like, you know, you're in a hen house, like you got everyone that can fit in one room. And I just came to visit, but it's crazy to me because I'm yelling at the top of my lungs and I'm looking at all of them, but you know, nothing's coming out of my breath. And my soul, or my, you know, your soul, I want to say, is floating out of your body, and you're seeing yourself on the bed dead, and something's pulling me down. And I just, the one thing I can do is I tell God, like, hey, God, like, save me, like, you know, rescue me from these demons. And within a snap of a finger, bro, like, I'm about to be dragged down, but within that snap of a finger, like, I'm back in my body. I take the deepest breath I could ever take, and you know, I just waited till fucking sun came back up, like till 6 a.m, till I went back to sleep, because I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't go back to sleep. Let me think about that.
Let me ask you this, Carlos. I'm sorry, caller. Have you had this experience before, or is this the only time?
This was the only time, but this was in Mexico. And I have another thing to say, but I don't want to, you know, ruin this stuff. No. There's another thing that happened over there that same, you know, time.
Right. Okay. The reason why I'm saying is because I've had those experiences before too. Those exact same experiences. Some people call them out-of-body experience. Yes, exactly, bro.
Out-of-body experiences. There's another thing, though, too.
It's not something.
Sleep paralysis.
Yeah, it's not something that you go around and just talk about it, because it's very personal. Because these effects last you for years. You know, you don't forget them.
Mm-mm.
You know, so
you never forget them because they're so. Like, it's just so scary, dude.
It is.
Like, it really does touch.
It is. So, anyways, caller.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, go for it, because you're our last
Just
caller.
One more quick thing.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, previous to this, like maybe a week before this, bro, we're in Mexico, like I said, and there's some floating orb, like maybe half a mile away from us. And this is like at 2-3 in the morning. And they say there's witches over here in El Rancho, pues. We're in the Rancho in Michoacan. And there's a floating orb, bro. And it's going up and down at like 2-3 in the morning. And I can't say it's a lie because my cousin was right there with me seeing it.
Right.
Just a floating orb, like half a mile away, maybe as big as like a football or a basketball, baseball, whatever the fuck. But like half a mile away, but you could see it clearly, like just going up and down, side to side. And people were saying, "Hay brujas, hay duendes." Do you guys believe in that? And that's my last.
Brujas, yes, I do believe that they do exist. Duendes, do you believe that they exist?
Yeah, but I don't think that orb was that.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that, man. You know what? And a lot of people don't realize that those experiences, man, stay with us forever. Mm-hmm. You know, so I want to thank you for sharing that. So. I wish I had an answer, but all I can say is that I have experienced those things. So, listen, caller, you were the last caller of the night.
Can I say one more thing? Can I say one more thing, Tony?
Make it quick, brother.
I'm the guy that called like a couple weeks ago about the vintage stuff.
Okay. I somewhat remember that.
Yeah, bro. I really would like to see like the vintage Raza stuff, bro, because you know Raza I feel is very undermined. Like people don't recognize that we really were out there. Raza was out there doing some amazing things. So yeah, gracias.
Okay, my brother. Stay blessed. Okay. We are done. So thank you everybody for calling in. Thank you everybody for being a part of the show. You know what? I believe we have some live chats. You guys want to get to those right now while we still have time? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. And then after that, we'll give a shout out and we'll call it a wrap.
Okay, Cristina de la Rosa dropped $2. She said, bring Magic Girl back.
Okay, to Freaky Tales?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, $4.99 from Jonathan Torres. Marvelous, what would be the right way to pray to God? Would it be the same without saying Christ? Thanks for what you're doing for our people.
So
he dropped $4.99.
So the only way to pronounce his name is the correct pronunciation of his name, which would be Yahweh. It's not Christ. It's God. It's what people associate God, but it's not God either. God is a deity. Any God. Gods are man-made. Those are things that are man-made to worship or man to worship. The Most High is Yahweh. It's a guttural, ancient Paleo-Hebrew sound, and it resonates the highest frequency. So that would be the correct way to start off prayer by saying his name. Also facing the east or the holy temple. Women are to cover their head when they pray, no matter what. Women have to cover their head when they pray. To have their head not covered and pray is a big disrespect. So that's that answer.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay, Emmanuel G40 History Talk dropped $5. He said, "Hey, Marvelous, if you can briefly give a 2-minute explanation of the equinoxes and the solstice, I think so. Yes, solstice and the equator as how it works and the flat Earth theory. How does that work with the flat Earth theory?"
I can't do that in 2 minutes. I cannot do that in 2 minutes,
I don't think
bro.
you could have finished reading that in 2 minutes.
I can't do that. But tell whoever that is, tell them to DM me. I mean, people hate to hear that, but I can't do that in 2 minutes, bro. I have to give a breakdown of all kinds of shit.
You know, I think for you people asking that, there's nothing wrong with those questions.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you're asking a question the size of his room, which you only want a small answer for.
Bro, I had somebody. Sorry, Tony. I had somebody call me the other day, and they were asking, "Yeah, you know, people hate when you do that." And I asked a question one time, and you said it hit, and I hate that, bro. But now that you gave me when they called me on the phone, we were on the phone, bro, and it was a simple question. I mean, it wasn't a simple question to me, but the way I have to break it down for understanding, we were on the phone for like an hour and 45 minutes, bro.
It could turn into a lecture.
An hour and 45 minutes, we had a conversation.
Yeah, so just hit him up, please. I know you guys don't like to hear that, but I have to say that. Go ahead.
Okay. Also, Juan Gonzalez dropped 666, and he said, "Thanks for the great show. Working at the mortuary late night from Oxnard.
Damn.
Morticians get no sleep."
That's very true.
That's
a lot
crazy.
of people don't know that Magic Girl is a mortician.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So
does she do embalming?
You know what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ask homeboy in Oxnard right there if he's doing it, or to DM me if he's done embalming or whatever, if he's having a hard time embalming any patients that have died from supposedly that shit that's going around.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the next one.
Okay, Don Perruco, because I gotta roll my R. Don Perruco.
Don Perruco.
Yeah, he dropped $1.99. He said, "Ask Marv's if he believes in the chupacabra."
You believe that's real? Maybe a science experiment, or maybe just a.
You know what? I think it's a hybrid, like a science experiment. Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I seen a video of it. Have you seen it? Where the chupacabra, like they actually have this shit.
No.
And it's fucking biting through the gate that they have. They have it. It's biting through metal, bro. Like just straight biting that shit. I'll show you.
Okay. Keep going, or is that it?
That shit.
We also have Juan Gonzalez dropped another $2.22. He said, "Swerve 2 times." Yeah, and laughing emojis.
Okay.
And then Don Pirruco dropped another 199. He says, shout out to you guys from Don Pirruco.
All good.
And Juan Gonzalez dropped another $2. He said, yeah, Marv, I'm an embalmer and cremator manager.
Oh,
Awesome.
wow.
Awesome. It'll Marvelous. He has some questions for you.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Steven Espinoza dropped 199, and then he dropped another 499, and he says, ask Tony what made him want to read the Bible and what age. When did he start reading it, I guess?
In my early 20s, I actually met a professor that I didn't know was a professor, and he was throwing away books. And I saw the way he was stacking them up in the alley out there by the trash can, and I grabbed one, and I heard him coming, so I threw it back. And then he came back out, and he tells me, did you grab this book? And I said, no. And he said, well, it wasn't where I left it at. So he picked it up, and it was the history of Egypt, ancient Egypt. So he gave it to me. He said, take it home and read it. Very long story short, I eventually in 1 year read Egypt, Assyria, Greece, Persia, Rome, Babylon, and then Israel. And after that year, he gave me a 1611 King James Bible, and I was against it because I didn't want to. I said I don't want to read religion or be involved in religion, and he said look at it as a history book. So as I began to read the Old Testament, I began to see that all the countries that he had me read were actually in there, and these countries were actually real. That's what made it real to me. I'll be honest with you. I wanted to prove that the Bible was wrong, so I kept researching like an archaeologist, and the more and more I dug, the more and more I found that it was true. So there it is.
Okay. Also, Steven Espinoza dropped $4.99. He said, ask Tony what made him, or I'm sorry, Raymond Torres dropped $2, and he said, Marvelous, why does someone suffer from sleep paralysis?
I think it's due to, whatever. You know what? I can't really answer that. It could be a lot of reasons. It could be maybe a curse on them. It could be them, their frequency not being. I know how you probably hate about hearing about frequency, but that shit's true. That shit opens certain portals, It could be something that they watched and they invited that bad entity to follow them. It could be somebody putting a curse on them. I can't give you an answer for that. Or a definite answer,
Right.
Okay, Don Pirruco dropped another $4.99. I guess he was responding to what to the last thing. He said, I'm asking because I was in Nayarit during the time, and it hit my neighbor's house, and I seen the chickens dried out. No blood, viva la raza. Oh, the chupacabra.
Yeah, so he's talking about chupacabra. Okay, what was the next one? Something about King James?
What's King James?
Okay, Polo Bear dropped $5. He said, was King James a homosexual with 3 male lovers? And did he really have sexual relationship with his own mother?
Here's my thing. A lot of people say, I don't believe in the King James because he was a homosexual and blah, blah, blah. Here's my thing. You won't believe in the Bible that he translated, okay? But yet you believe the stuff that they write about him.
So here's the thing: King James didn't translate by himself. He did it using about 80 scholars to help him do it. So, and I think that was a whole publicity stunt. And I don't know the name. I can't give you an answer for that either. There was a name of somebody that was trying to be in, I don't know, the Senate or some shit back then that smutted him up. I'll have that the next Freaky Tales for you. That information. I'm bad. Sorry.
Okay. Brian A. dropped $1.99. He said, Marvelous, what's your perspective on deja vu?
Man, deja vu, I have a couple of different theories of it.
Is it a glitch in the Matrix?
Nah, not a glitch in the Matrix. But I think it's something that we've already been through. Like we're getting a second chance to make a permanent right choice or whatever. But it could be something that, one of our forefathers went through and we're just experiencing it as a deja vu, when it's just happening again.
It's funny because maybe some of you people on the live chat or at home have been somewhere and you know for some reason you've been there already, and maybe it's the first time visiting there.
That happened to me the other day.
Yeah, I forgot where I was at, that I had to literally stop and look around and said to myself, I know I've been here before. And my son is tripping because this is the first time we had been there. And I said, let's go behind this house over here. I believe there's a little restaurant. And guess what? There was a little restaurant. And I had never been there before. So whether that was the deja vu or not, but things like that do happen, and they're hard to explain. Another one, somebody said, Tony A is mad. I'm only going to respond to you because I think it's humorous that please don't mistake, my passion for anger. When I'm passionate about something, I'm going to speak up about something. But people will usually interpret that, he's upset. So,
Right.
So somebody, Steve Espinosa, go San Diego Padres. Go San Diego Padres. So, okay. Anything else, or we're good?
That's it.
That's it. No more. No, nothing else.
Okay.
Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Appreciate you always. All my respects and love for people that reach out. Thank you once again. And I love you, all my kids.
All good. Once again, Marvelous Inc., my co-host, thank you for being a part of Freaky Tales. Thank you for being here. Thank you for answering these questions.
Thank you.
We got one more? Go ahead.
This comes from Polo Bear, $5. Marvelous. Can you look into Pope? I think the 9th, and the vaccine agenda. He was pushing 200 years ago. History repeats itself.
Yeah.
And then Juan Gonzalez dropped $2. He said Marvelous needs to ink up Tony.
I know, man. Throw a big ass W on his chest right here. Bah. Represent.
Okay, we got one more.
Dang, homie. They gonna keep coming in.
Yeah, they're coming in. Enrique Ledesma. I was calling in. I had sleep paralysis yesterday. After many years, I couldn't breathe, and with all my strength said the name of Jesus to be gone, and I was immediately liberated. Happened to me at 3 a.m. He dropped $9.99.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Okay. Other than that, I just want to thank everyone for being a part of the show, for all the callers, everybody who dropped on the live chat. I greatly appreciate it. I know a lot of you guys can't get through because a lot of people call in, and as much as I emphasize, please, 2-minute conversation, get straight to your point or get straight to your question. I would greatly appreciate. Please be mindful of everybody else. When I say these things, people get upset and say, you need to let the caller speak. But you know what? Many of you say, hang up on him. This guy is boring. I try to be mindful that there are other people calling. So many times when you hear me say, you know what, caller, what is your point, or get to your question, it's because I'm being respectful to everyone. So many times people try to they drop money in the live chat so that the question could be heard, but we greatly appreciate that. I think we have another one. Somebody said, Juan Gonzalez says, Marv, I need a Chicano tattoo. Hit up Marvelous in his DM. You know how to get a hold of him. Thank you for that. So let me give a shout out to my team. First and foremost, Norbert. Once again, he's always on the live chat. He helps me promote this. He's a part of our team, so thank you to him. Want to give a shout out to Alex Cervantes Enterprise, for being a part of the show, running the show. Also to my son B. Scallis for helping me promote this, and helping me book many artists and many of my guests. Also, I know the Hip Hop Jedi, can't forget him. And also I want to thank myself, and I want to ask you guys to have a safe Freaky Tale Friday, and we'll see you guys next Friday. Okay, next Friday. You guys want to tune in? We're going to try to have something really special for you guys. So other than that, expect the unexpected, and we'll see you guys next Friday.